let's hang out on our Black Widow table and freaking have a discussion. So you can see I've upgraded. We're high class now, mullet life. We got an extra one in our dump pouch. That's what they're for, right? Extra beer and tools. The camera's tilted, not the Grunt. There's kind of two categories of people out there. We've got doomsday preppers, and then we got the great majority of people who don't give a damn about anything. That's kind of a shame. I wish we could just bring more people together in the middle and be like, hey, we've got all these catastrophes that happen all throughout the year. They affect millions of Americans. Hurricanes, wildfires, blizzards, earthquakes sometimes. And it seems like a whole bunch of people, the great majority, are just caught with their pants down every single time. I grew up around hurricanes, and it was like, there is a hurricane season. You know where they're coming. Out in the West, you have wildfire season. They know when the fires are going to start and start destroying shit, unless you're in LA in January. That's kind of weird. Right? And then you've got the ultra doomsday guys. So I'm going to call this restless doomer syndrome. Guys who, they seem prepared, right? They got a bunch of gear. Some of them are smart and they've got a bunch of food. And then some of the really smart ones, they've got friends. So whether it's your neighbors, because that's your community, that's going to be your team, is the people that live around you. But it kind of seems like a lot of those guys are like, I don't know, hypochondriacs or freaking neurotic, or they're just hyper focused on doomsday. Like, it's all they think about. It totally consumes them. And so I'm not saying you shouldn't be thinking about stuff. Like, everywhere I go, all the time, I'm considering, okay, what if shit went down here? What if I'm in public and there's like a mass shooting? You know, what am I going to do? How am I going to escape? How am I going to protect my family? What have you? Or if I'm out in the environment, you know, I'm always thinking about, all right, well, we're in blizzard season, or we're in freaking wildfire season, or like on the coast, we're thinking about, all right, well, this hurricane season. But it kind of stops there, right? So we have our knowledge, we have our preparation, and then if you're actually training with dudes, you've got your actual training and rehearsals, right? So you learn the information, you devise a plan, and then you rehearse and refine that plan, kind of like the troop leading procedures. All right, so that's what you want to be doing. But outside of that, if there's no doomsday happening, like Civil War ain't happened, World War III ain't kicked off, some people have been talking about it for 20 plus years, right? And look where we're at. So I think the problem is you got the guys that they're stuck in the research phase. They don't have any friends. They've got a bunch of gear stuck in their closet. They're not getting out, being active members of society, trying to improve things. So when things do get bad, at least you have a decent community around you. That should be part of your planning and some of the work you're doing. But a lot of these guys, they're pervasive on the internet. This is one reason why I'm not active on X too much anymore. I haven't even looked at it in a month, but it's like, there's some of these guys, I wonder if they actually are out training, or if all their time is spent on the internet researching and talking about this stuff. This is why I call it the restless doomer syndrome. We're doing our daily chores and our daily work, and then we're getting out working with our communities. You should be active in your community. If you think your area, if people are like, well, my neighborhood sucks, everybody's gay, I don't talk to anybody. It's like, okay, well, that you either need to move or you need to get out and fix that, because when things go down, like ask anybody who's in natural disasters every year, when things go down, that is the community. Those are the people who, your first responders, or if you think you're going to be a first responder, it's going to be your local community that you're dealing with. You're not going to call Billy Bob, your buddy, 3,000 miles across the country and say, hey, we got civil unrest and we might have to deal with looters for a while. Can you drive across the country with all your stuff and come help us? He's going to say, dude, I got my own life and family. You can, pound sand. That's literally how that's going to go. Good luck. That's assuming that people are actually doing anything. I think a lot of these dudes, they're perpetually online. That's a problem in and of itself. So, and then they're just constantly researching and wargaming, and they're going down these rabbit holes and conspiracies, and just, it consumes them. All right, so some of these popular talking heads, they've discussed, like, 3 to 5% are literal psychopaths, and like that's their identity. That's it. They got the doomer identity. And when Christianity pops up and gets popular again, you know, they jump on that, the Christ is King movement. And you've got these people that they don't care what happens to either side. They don't care about anybody but themselves, and that's all they do. And in some cases, they call them accelerationists. They actually want to like bring on the collapse and bring on the civil problems. And it's like, anybody who talks like that, that's a red flag right there. And they're telling you up front they've never actually been through hard times. Because I'm telling you, anybody who's been through hard times, they'll be the first to tell you that we don't want that shit. It's actually pretty cool that we live a pretty comfortable life. Our life is so freaking comfortable right now. Most Americans can ignore all the problems, work their asses off all week, and just come home and kick back and just watch TV and watch football and shit. Instead of going out camping or training or doing field exercises or whatever, they're freaking getting drunk or spending money or, I don't know, growing roses and useless lawn care shit on the weekends, or they're just kicking back watching football. That's a sign that we're still living pretty good times, guys. And we still got a obesity and an overweight problem. We still got guys who refuse to get out and freaking do any fitness training, much less pick up heavy stuff. So it's like, if you look at it, you know, just if you're not constantly scrolling through X and just living through this doomsday world, you got to remember you're seeing news from all around the world. So it might seem doom and gloom, but you're seeing shit that, if you know, 50 years ago you would never even know about. You don't even, and I think it screws guys up even more because they don't even see their local news. There's guys talking about shit from all over the world and like cabals up in the federal government and everything. They don't even know who their city council is, or their freaking town hall people, like in their county. They don't even know the people who actually do represent them and cause the problems in their area, but they know all these things all around the world, like in way up top, man. So maybe that's kind of led to everybody looking up to our monarchy up top. Well, the president's going to come in and sign some things and save us all from every single problem. And Karen down at the county office is gonna have to fix it all. It's like, well, you see Karen in your daily life, you run into her, you know her, maybe you're related to somebody that, like, from her that lives in the area. It's like, you should be doing that. It's up to you as the individual, right? So if you're asking for help or demanding something from way up top, you're just forgetting about all these things around your local community that directly contribute to your life. We do need good people up there that can buffer and actually allow us to use our rights and flex them. You know, you look at it, the Democrats, they actually do a much better job at flexing, especially that 10th Amendment, a hell of a lot better than we do, you know. So look at like the gun laws in some of these states, like California. The Supreme Court has ruled over and over that all of their stupid rules and policies are freaking anti-constitutional. They're unconstitutional. And yet California just appeals them and leaves them in appeals, so they're in limbo. And in the meantime, people still have to follow the bullshit laws. All right, that's the perfect example of 10th Amendment. Hey, well, you say this, even the Supreme Court says we're unconstitutional. We don't give a shit. We're our own state. We're going to do what we want. So all the guys that complain about their states being shitty, and I say your number one bug out tool is your credit card, right? I don't look at rucksacks and weapons and food and all this stuff as a bug out tool. My number one bug out tool is seeing how shitty the area is getting, trying to reach out and talk to people and make the community better, at least my neighbors, and dealing with them. And if they're all just special ed and I can't deal with them, and I think, all right, well, I think this area is lost, we got the credit card and we got a U-Haul. We pack up and we get the hell out, right? And fuck, man, you know, if you've got your family in order and you're doing your job as a man and as a husband and as a father, you should be able to figure that out. If you're by yourself, you have zero excuse. The guys who are saying, well, I can't just leave, it's not that easy, bullshit. We have the best freedom of mobility in the entire world. 400,000+ people proved that during COVID in 2020. 200,000 left California, 200,000 left New York in one freaking year, right? So if those yuppies up there in the city can figure it out, you can't tell me you can't figure it out. Find a place that looks good, that fits your values, do some extra research, see what the cost of living is going to be, if you got to pay city or county taxes or both. If it's unincorporated or incorporated, do a little bit of research, save up some money, figure out when you want to move, find a place to move to, freaking get the U-Haul and get the hell out, right? So it kind of tells me when I see guys push back on that. I do have guys yell at me, they tag me in their stupid posts and ridiculous videos. I don't know why you would consume your own life with talking about me and what I say. That's kind of a red flag. But they'll push back and say, oh, Grunt Proof says just leave. It's not that easy. And I'm just thinking, like, why? Give me one excuse. Because that's what it is. It's an excuse. All I can assume, I hope this is a stretch, but all I can assume is if you're saying it's impossible for you to leave and you're a grown-ass man, I'm just going to assume it's because you're on the registered sex offender list and you're not allowed to leave. If you're single, you don't understand busy. You don't understand time prioritization. You don't understand not having money. Like, you're doing something stupid to where you don't know how to prioritize your time. You don't know how to save your freaking money. Save some money up. Quit buying your doomsday gear and all this useless shit and being on Reddit till freaking 3 or 4 in the morning and sleeping all day and pissing away your money on pot. Save up some funds, research a place, find a U-Haul, and get the hell out. It seems like a lot of these guys are having some mental health issues, all right? And I'm not judging or making fun. You know, I hope and I would pray that these people can go get some help, you know. It's kind of a shame that we have all these mental issues in the country and like nobody gives a flying fuck. It's either people just living on the streets causing trouble for other people, or people living on some kind of strange assistance in a suburb area and they're just causing shit online. First of all, you should not be researching conspiracies and shit till 3 in the morning. That's definitely a no-go. You're either not living properly, you're not doing enough during the day, you're not training enough to where you're exhausted and you want to sleep, or you're just fucking around. You're just wasting time. You're wasting your life. Like, friggin', if you find yourself constantly scrolling through social media, reading all these conspiracies and the news, putting all these dots together and figuring out which cabal is in charge that day, like, you're wasting time. You have better things to do, because you can cry about that cabal up top controlling everything, fucking puppet masters. You can complain about that all you want, but at the end of the day, if we followed the damn book, the instruction book, it was given to us 250 plus years ago. If we followed that, we would be good to go. And if the average American just acted like a freaking American, like, realize all of your problems in your life are on you. All right. So anytime I find myself looking around, blaming everybody else and the government and the president and whatever for my problems, eventually I'll get a kick in the nuts. And I'm like, wait a minute, you know what? What happened today has nothing to do with the president. It has nothing to do with the federal government. Like, maybe I need to freaking work on myself and how I can approach this stuff. And, you know, I just think, I wish more Americans were prepared at least for any kind of basic emergency. Dudes are starting to wake up and realize they need other like-minded dudes to work with. But I'm telling you guys, this online, like, group chatting and shit, that's not for men. That's not what men need. Men need to be out in the woods doing things. We need to be freaking working with our hands outside all day, getting dirty and hot and sweaty and getting injured and fucking our hands up. If you don't have an active life, then you're going to be adding training to your life. So at the end of the day, when you lay down, you're not freaking scrolling through this, talking to other dudes 1,000 miles away and anonymous men online that you don't even know. And you're looking through stories and X and all this crap. Like, no, man, you should lay down, you set your alarm, you put your phone away, and you should be passing out. All this other nitpicking and talking about gear and groups with anonymous men till 3 in the morning, it's got to fucking stop, right? You have a problem. What's the first step to solving your problems? Is admitting you have a problem. If you're on Reddit or Telegram all night till 3 or 4 in the morning, you have a fucking problem. Fix the shit. Go to bed. Get up early and fucking train. Get up early and go early into work and fucking do better shit at work and get promoted so you can make money and get the hell out of your shithole area. That's getting into the manosphere, right? You know, and a lot of supposedly grown men, they complain about all their problems down in the comments. But whenever you start to answer their problem. They have excuses. It's like, dude, it's like arguing with women, man. It's like, you fucking be a man and solve your problems and figure it out. And if your buddies have suggestions for you, you either listen to them or you don't. But you don't sit around fucking complaining about the shit, you know? You know, and it's sad because we can't blame these men today because they've been raised by leftist women. It seems like World War II, the whole Western world has been raised by liberal friggin' feminists, right? Either their dad was a piece of shit and let the woman run the household because he was weak and didn't stand up to his wife, or the dad didn't know anything, or he just fucking left, right? The woman sucked and he just left. Figure it out, guys. So we got all these like men today raised by women or weak dads, and that's what we're dealing with. Everybody wants to share that little circle where it goes this way, that little circle of, you know, strong men create good times and blah, 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 that bullshit all these people want to say. And it's like, half the guys that share that shit in the groups I'm in, I look at it and I'm like, dude, you are the weak man. Like, you're the guy complaining about shit all the time. And I see your fucking chats at 3 in the morning. It's like, I know you don't work night shift. Why are you on here at 3 in the morning? You are that weak dude. Right? And he either figures it out and we talk about it and we help get the dude squared away, or we kick him out of the fucking group. He's dead weight, man. Yeah, guys, prepare for this shit. Prepare for what you can expect based on your area and what's going on. But don't sit around obsessing about it. You got to go out living your life, man. You got to live life. Find a way to live, because what's the point in surviving if your life is a miserable piece of shit to begin with? You know? It's like, I can't imagine if I was like ignoring my family and my kids to, well, I got to talk about this pouch and deal with this bullshit, and this might happen. There's a 1% chance this could happen. You know, it's like, that'd be a horrible way to live, and it'd be a horrible way to raise my kids. Instead, I can just raise my kids like, hey, shit happens. Bad things happen. This is how you deal with strangers. This is how you deal with this situation. All right, let's go fucking throw the ball, man. Let's go have fun. You got to live life, man. You can't be stuck in this doomsday syndrome and just constantly obsessing about it. It's not good, man. And to the guys, young or old, who got all the gear and equipment and all this stuff locked in their suburban house, you need to find friends, man. You need to find dudes to work with. And I can't solve that problem for you. People write in the comments, how do I find people to train with? How do I find like-minded people? Like, I can't answer that for you. Nobody can. You have to figure that out. You've got to go do things that like-minded dudes do, and that's when you will meet them. All right? So if you're just an oddball that doesn't know how to talk to people, just go do those things, and somebody will approach you eventually. If somebody sees you at the range training like crazy, you don't have to be in doomsday gear, but you can be serious about training. Eventually somebody will talk to you, you know, hey man, where are you from? You know, like, oh, you're right down the road. Like, yeah, cool, me too. You know, what are you working on? I suck at pistol. I'm trying to get better at pistol. Oh, cool, I know so-and-so down the road, he's a trainer. And, you know, if you want to come out for some free training, he does like dynamic drills and shit like that. And, you know, there's a good group of dudes that come out. Boom, now you got a freaking weapons training group of dudes, and you'll probably end up meeting other guys. You just go for a fucking hike, man, and you're going to run across fellow hikers. They're either going to be hippie backpackers, they're going to be average Joes that just wanted to go out, or it might be dudes that are out there rucking, and you'll hang out with them. You don't have to be a weirdo and show up with, you know, whatever, your snake hat or 3% or whatever, and hey, you guys like guns and freedom and anti-government shit. Like, that's probably gonna fucking throw up a lot of red flags, and that's not how you approach people. I mean, it seems like a lot of the same guys that can't find a group to train with, they're also having troubles finding women. So how do you fix that? I don't fucking know, man. You're gonna have to freaking figure this stuff out. Like, I can't coach you from 2,000 or 3,000 miles away and tell you exactly what to do. Like, but it helps to get off the internet, guys. We're social creatures. People want to see your face and read your expressions and hear the context in your voice, the inflection in your voice when you're talking about stuff. You don't get that shit in your Telegram apps at 3 in the morning. It's the hard truth, man. That's how it is. Like, so if you're dreaming about this doomsday shit and it consumes your life, just remember, if your fantasy comes true, which you're not going to be ready for it, But you're going to step out on the street, or you're going to go do something. I think what are you just doing a scope, and then you're just one day going to go out and, oh, now I'll go meet people. You're going to walk out in your plate carrier and all your brand new shit. Nobody's going to know who the hell you are, and it's probably not going to work out too well. You're not going to go out there and save the neighborhood by yourself. You're going to come out, you're going to see plenty of other armed dudes. Probably the neighbors you thought were gay and didn't do anything, but you never even took the time to talk to them. All of a sudden you'll see him with like 6 other dudes, and they're fucking armed, and they look like they know what the fuck they're doing, and they got checkpoints, and they got roving patrols, and they got comms, and they're talking to people, and you're going to be like, wait guys, can I join in? And they're going to be like, yeah, where the fuck were you for the last 5 years? Like, oh, okay. And it doesn't have to be all doomsday, man. I've done hikes with guys recently where there is no patrolling, no military talk, none of that crap. We just brought a backpack and water, and at the most I had the pistol, and that's it, man. We just freaking hiked and had a good old time. We weren't even actually rucking. There was no specific pace. We weren't trying to get smoked. We just went for a hike. It was a beautiful day, climbing some mountains, hiking. That's fucking good enough, and that's training, man. We got outdoors, we got some sun, we got pretty smoked, and it was a couple dudes fucking climbing the mountains, having a good old time, and then had some beer at the end. Doesn't have to be complicated, guys. Got some fellow outdoors enjoyers out there. I'm pretty sure I know who it is. One of my buddies out screwing around. I wonder why his shit's conking on. He's got a new machine. He can't get his shit started. Alright, well, there you go, guys. Perfect example. I'm gonna freaking walk down there and see what the hell's going on with his machine, and probably help my neighbor out fucking getting back home, because he's stranded now. So there you go. See y'all next time.